And guess what it told me? Obvious Nonsense is live.
Do you know where my phone is?
Insert name here is live, baby. No, I don't know where your phone is. Yes, I do know where your phone is.
I'm like, wait, Kane just picked up a phone. I see a phone under his leg. You damn lie. All right, let me retweet it. I always forget to retweet it. That's the main thing I always forget.
You know,
hi, y'all.
Do you want to peek your head in and say hello?
Or you could like.
I thought the laptop was my foot because it's the same.
Or you could like sit in the camera. Well, you could move a little. So if you could.
Hello.
Okay.
Kane's back. We're back. The gang is back.
The gang is
together.
back.
The
The boys are back.
The boys are back
Well,
in town. The townies are back.
Hey, let's be gender equitous here, you know?
We can describe our gender however we want to.
Yeah, the folks back in
But
town.
I was describing our gender. We could describe our gender however we want to.
What if you're not describing my gender how I want
Are
to?
you not a boy?
Not yet a woman.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, if you don't know where you are by now, you about to find out. I think you already found out. Welcome to Insert Name here, brought to you in full technicolor and living sound with the dulcet tones of the great Alejandra Tejeda, finally back with me, my love.
Here. Now.
We're here. The sultry bass filled with jazz and humor of the best black man present, K&A Patton, Kuma the Grizz, her jump off.
Check out his new album.
Whole new album, Hugs with a Z.
Kuma the Grizz. Find him on platforms, my nig.
I'll put the link.
And that's her jump off, like I said. So yeah, we're here.
My jump off.
Well, we have to start with.
That's Mr. Jump Off to you both.
What do we have to start with?
We have to start with the passing of Walter Wallace in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Because we always start with sad news. If you don't know, we always start with the sad stuff so we can be goofballs afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so more police violence as Black folks, Indigenous, other folks of color. We know what it's like to interact with the police, especially when you're in mental health crisis. As Walter, I believe his name was Walter Wallace. I updated the thing, but I don't know, for some reason it doesn't update. Like when I update on my phone, it doesn't like
update there.
Yeah, I put an article on everything.
I just updated.
Wow. Anyway, so yeah, Walter Wallace. I have an article. I'm gonna link it to you guys.
Yeah, I saw people, obviously, people talking about it last night. I didn't read much into it because it was one of them ones that didn't really like. A lot of them like catch speed rather quickly on social media. I feel like this one didn't. Yeah. So there wasn't like a lot of knowledge about it. But RIP, the police be shooting people for nothing.
A lot of
you call for help and instead like a family member in crisis ends up dead, and that's like the most horrific thing that could happen.
So I haven't watched any videos or anything. I don't know if there is a video. I think there is, but witnesses say I've seen that witnesses say that he wasn't charging at the police, but obviously the police are saying that he was charging at the police. So but the thing is, either way, there's no extrajudicial murder is illegal. Like if he had a knife, like there was mad cops, like. You got to figure it out as a cop. Like this is, y'all always say your job is dangerous. Like this is where it's dangerous, and you can't just shoot people. Like that's not how it's supposed to work. Like we have a justice system for a reason. If Walter Wallace had been guilty of a crime, then if under what y'all say, he should have gone to the courts. He should have gotten justice through the court system, through a jury of his peers, through prosecutors presenting evidence, through witnesses and a judge, putting out a sentence for that's appropriate for whatever he did. But like, because the cop shot him, we never even gonna get to that point. It's the same thing with George Floyd. It's the same thing with Eric Garner. If you say there was these people was Mike Brown, if you say they was committing a crime, then they should get. They should have to speak to the people for their crime.
You should not shoot them dead so they can actually go to court.
They should have to speak to the people for their crime. Like
you should try and shoot the places where people won't usually die. I don't know. Limbs, legs are easy targets.
A foot, maybe. If they have a knife, not a gun.
Right. I don't know. I grew up in this world thinking that even if it was racist in America, at least its full foundation was built on the idea of due process. Fucking due process. You can't due process if niggas is dead.
Like, that's what it's supposed to be. The police don't have they're not judge, jury, and executioner. They shouldn't be able to just kill people with impunity. My favorite word. Like, they shouldn't be able to do that. I think might as well keep to the topic of violence and jump to violence in Boston.
Oh, wait. I do have something to say about Walter Wallace, though, because Joe Biden, of course, and Kamala Harris released this really weak statement that a bunch of Black people are like, so this who you voting for? Basically saying that we shouldn't be looting and blah, blah, blah. The bigger paragraph was more focused on the looting aspect than it was about the murder of Walter Wallace. And that's an important thing to always pay attention to, is that they said this is the most, the longest paragraph was, about something that really didn't matter. People looting a Walmart. I don't care about no goddamn Walmart. The Black-owned businesses that were affected, yes, okay. But the community will usually fix that and cover it. So that's that. I don't care about you looting a Walmart. I don't Kamala and Biden.
Walmart owe me. Walmart owe all those people.
Dude,
come on.
Walmart are famously Trump supporters. Of course I'm gonna fucking loot.
Walmart. The thing about Walmart is that they're the biggest employer in America, and they're also the big and their employees are also the biggest portion of the population that use food stamps. So that's what I want you to know about fucking Walmart. That's what we need to know about Walmart.
That is why, as we always say, self-checkout is your self-checkout friend.
If the gods of self-checkout bless you, sometimes, you
accept your blessings.
Sometimes, anyway. I'm not gonna dodge a blessing. I'm not y'all.
Also, Walmart, the app, they be having lots of deals, and you can catch the store slipping. I follow a bunch of white people that be flipping out when Walmart doesn't let you use the deals. There's Walmart clearance groups. I joined one. Yes, I love clearance. And those white women freak out when they don't get a clearance deal. So just in case you want to know, there are those groups. But violence here.
Yeah, violence in Boston. So there's been tons of shootings. I'm looking for a non-Herald article talking about.
But see, the Herald is the number one person that loves to talk about
violence because they're racist.
They're yes.
They're you heard all these shootings happen. I'm my nigga. Also, so anyway, I also saw this on Facebook. Folks were talking about it, and they were talking about it in the South End group, and I think they were talking about it somewhere else too. But people were how are we gonna fight the police when we don't even respect ourselves? And I'm like, my nigga, this is not fucking 1992. We're not talking about no more damn black on black crime. That's bullshit. It's bullshit.
What about black on black crime?
It's bullshit, bro.
Why isn't there as much outrage for black on black crime as there is outrage when the police kill a black man?
What, my guy,
Did you guys hear about that new thing, black on black crime?
Everybody cares about community violence. We're sitting here talking about community violence right the fuck now. What?
That's always the best part to me. I'm so you disregard the huge group organizations, the marches, the walks,
that's the first
100
thing.
Black men
bro, all those freaking church leaders that the mayor and those people always meet with whenever something happens. We're talking about community violence. People are out here. That's the first thing they say. Y'all ought to know because that's the first thing y'all say. So what do you mean people don't care? People aren't talking about it. If everybody is saying it, we're all talking about it. We all care. But here's the thing. It's not happening in a vacuum. There's a lot we could do as a community that we're not doing, but there's also a lot that is out of our control. Our socioeconomic prospects are mostly out of our control. We can support and advocate and do all that stuff, but it's we know this system is set up for us to fail. We understand that the system will direct you towards prison, if it can. Mm-hmm. And if that's for any black person, that's for a lot of poor people in general. this system works as it's intended to, and it's set up for us not to do well. So when we sit here and blame the results of these problems, we just like talk about the results and try to deal with that and try to punish people and try to whatever. I'm like, we're not getting to the root of shit. People go to jail and what? Like, they go to jail and what? You know? They get back out on the streets. Somebody says, oh, no, we're going to move you out of here. You can go live in Lynn. You can go live in here, whatever. And they never get to go anywhere. And they're stuck. And it's like, I still have these beefs. No matter what I want to do, what I want to be, I still have these problems, you know? And everybody, and I'm still poor. I'm still hungry. Like, I have the same issues I had before. What do you expect to be different if you're not making something different for me?
I don't know what people expect in the middle of a pandemic. Like, it should be expected that violence would go up. There are more people in poverty than there were in March. There are like less and I don't want to say worthy, but there are less jobs that pay you sufficiently.
Especially in Boston,
and I want to say this, stop telling people to just go simply work at like Amazon or things like that. Like, there are barriers to those like $22 jobs. You have to be able to drive. You have to be able to do this. You can't be like a felon.
To have an ID.
Like, there are so many barriers to
everything.
Things that like not everybody can do these things. You might not be a resident. You might not be a citizen. Like, there are so many issues that like are behind gun violence that it's almost absurd that we're like, so what are you gonna do about gun violence? There's so much gun violence. Me, like, a lot of this gun violence is like grown-ass men shooting at each other, like 25 to like 30-year-old men killing each other. This is beyond the stage of like a teenager intervention. These are grown men that are like on the streets that have never really had like real jobs or real like opportunities to succeed, and we want them to just like.
And then once you're in, you're in. Like, once you're in in so many ways. Like,
unless like you have a capacity to escape, a capacity to leave, and as Malaysia said, not many people do. The people that usually have the capacity to leave are usually the lucky ones that got out.
And it's like, bro, like, obviously we have to do more. We can't just let violence happen, right? And nobody's saying we don't have to do more, but we have to be strategic in what we're doing, because, you know, marching is not working. Like, peace walks is not working. Like, that's not working.
Meeting with the mayor,
meeting with
pastors where kids don't even go to church
or upping police presence. That doesn't work. So we have there has to be like nobody. The problem is that nobody ever wants to sit down and say, let's actually talk about this. Like when I say people talk about it, I mean the community is advocating about this around this. People are always advocating around this, but nobody ever. We never get the right people in the room to have the conversation of what the fuck to actually do if you actually care about stopping violence in our communities. Like, niggas have ideas, like, you know, and a lot of people have ideas. A lot of people have experience. A lot of people have degrees and shit, like, you know. And they pay random people to do stupid shit. They pay military contractors to talk about COVID. Like, what? Like, and they won't pay anybody. I mean, we're a whole city, a whole state of social, like, so what's it called? What's that called? Like, humanity shit. We do social studies. We do fucking history. We do policy and politics. Like, all these people do that. That's the main shit, like, that people think about Boston and our colleges.
And they suck at it.
And they won't connect with anybody who fucking knows how to do it around here.
It always makes me laugh.
And who knows about this city.
Because they're always like, yes, we'll have conversations with the youth. These young people never have gotten in trouble really with the police, never have gotten in trouble with the like any type of law enforcement in school. And they're like, what do you think is the solution to dealing with gang violence? I don't know. Are you talking to somebody that's been involved with gang violence?
Do they even know anybody? Like, do they
like we talk like there have been times, me and Malaysia, although like we both know people that have been involved with things. We've never lived that life. We're not a part of that life. Coming to me and asking me directly what I think is going to be like the most important thing to change somebody from that lifestyle is not useful. You need to go ask the people in this lifestyle, ask the people that are in jail currently because of this. Instead, we're acting like we don't have the people and the resources and the stories to get things done. We're like, we just have to try new things, and this new thing is something we tried 10 years ago that we know doesn't work, but somehow it's new.
And beyond that, there's like, there's people in our communities, people who have been through it, people who have studied it for decades, people who have just been around it for decades and stuff like that. All these people, they have ideas. Like, if we get people together, we could do shit. But nobody wants to fucking do anything.
Carrie said, what's the point if gentrification is moving faster than the march? And it's facts. I think people sometimes don't realize is that march is good and well. They're useful for getting the point across, but they're not usually full of action. They don't usually come with things after them.
Yeah, they don't result in a lot. It's attention, maybe, depending. But it's like we have to do more than that. Like this is, bruh. We are, our civil rights movement in the 1960s. That was the 1960s, and we having a civil rights movement right now. And like, we need to do something else. Like, we can't just do the same things. And I think I say that I am my ancestors because they knew that they couldn't do the same shit that they've been doing, before that. They knew that there had to be more. Like, you can't, like, we get stuck in this rut, and then this nonviolence thing really has fucked with our heads because we can't fucking figure. First of all, half of this shit y'all be like, nonviolence, don't even be violent. Breaking into a store is not violent. The store is not a person. Facts. If I break down a door, it's not the same thing as punching Alejandro. Like, what are you talking about?
Since when does Walmart? Well, we know since when does Walmart have rights? But since when does Walmart have the same rights as me?
Like, if Walmart starts to feel pain, like if the walls start bleeding, then I'll stop. All right, that's how I feel. You gotta get the fuck. That's what I'm saying. If that happens, I'm good. I'll stop. I get the message.
There's no stopping. There's get the fuck out.
That's what I mean. I get the picture. Like, I got it right. But barring that, like, fuck off. Like, my life is worth more than your store. Sorry.
Also, like, I've noticed that people, it's interesting that you say, like, the non-violent thing has really fucked us up, both, like, mentally and, like, physically, too. Because we're using all of our, like, energy to march and yell and march. And, I could use that energy to just knock a motherfucker out. I'm gonna be real with you.
I think a lot of people are like at that point though, like knock a motherfucker out point. Like, I just think like it needs to be organized knocking motherfuckers out. Like, because like we can do it in a vacuum, we can do it separately, and it's like it's cool to see the videos and shit, but like, come on, like it's not really, like I'm like it has to be both, bro. It has to be strategy and force. Like, people don't get anywhere without talking about it, and they don't get anywhere without fighting for it. Like even this year is showing us. Chile showed us. Bolivia showed us. You have to be ready to fight with that shit. Nigeria is showing us. They're peaceful, but they're still showing us. You have to be ready to die, to fight, to.
South Americans have always been one of the best examples of I will die before I let you try me.
Yep.
And it's great how somehow we forget that. I know somehow we like to forget that like South American politics kind of exist in the global
American
sphere.
exceptionalism.
But like those like Bolivians, like you said, Chileans, like Brazilians, if you fuck with them, they'll fuck with you right back. They don't care if you're a government person, if you're a regular person. They say, you trying to take away my water, environmental stuff, you trying to take away my way of life.
But
it's on. And they'll burn shit down. They'll burn everything down.
And since the U.S. empire is so like weak right now, they're like, it's a lot harder for the CIA to do stupid shit. So that's good.
It is kind of funny now how like so much is happening. We're like, wow, how cute.
The CIA is like, fuck. They're getting like democratic leaders. Shit.
So, yeah, like Melissa said, we got to remember our Nigerians. People have stopped talking about it as much, which is expected. People started instead talking about Birkins.
Yeah.
Stop talking about Birkins. Stop talking about if you'll make $400,000. Talk
Stop
more
talking about Ice
Nigeria,
Cube, Kanye,
like you guys get
50,
so
none of it.
distracted so easily, and it's a part of like the scheme of like media and things where they'll push conversations about non-important issues. Like we don't, in this great scheme of life, we don't care about Birkins. In the great scheme of life, we don't care about like if somebody's making $400,000 and blah 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 and how that affect their tax code. We don't care about that right now. That's not my concern. And if you're concerned about that now, like
Also,
we just two different people.
Also, when you're buying your new smartphone, remember the Congo child slaves and cobalt mines, and there's a lot of shit going on in Africa right now that you need to get up on if you're not up
and
on it.
And it's been going on like with the mines,
especially the mine stuff.
The mines has been going on since like the early 90s when computers started really coming about. Facts. And a lot of our technology.
Yeah, and before that it was other mines. Before that it was rubber mines and diamond mines and fucking coal mines and all types of shit. But
yeah, the world is bad. So get hip on something. You don't have to get hip on everything, but get hip on something.
Oh, so like, can we quick talk about the Nubian Square branch? It says Roxbury branch on that building, but fuck them. It's the Nubian Square branch library.
Facts. If wasn't it the Dudley Library?
Yeah,
before?
It was the Dudley Library.
If it was the Dudley Library before, it is the Nubian Square Library now.
Ain't not one bitch up in Roxbury, Nubian. Oh, well, probably there's some Nubian people there.
Yeah, there are.
But not one of them living in Nubian Square. You got to name them Nubian.
I was like, kind of a few if we're like thinking of that geography of the Nubian areas.
Yeah, I mean,
Nubians, what's up?
Shout out Ethiopia, Eritrea, you
would
know.
they consider themselves
Nubians? Probably not, really.
Shout out Ethiopia, Eritrea, whatever.
It's open though. Well, you can't really go. You can go to like pick up books or print something real quick.
But
it's open.
It's been 5 years. I looked inside because it has like windows now. If you've ever been to the Dudley Library before, that shit had like fucking. It looked like bubble wrap, basically. The windows were. It was like green, and it had no light in there. It was like a basement. It felt like because like it went like kind of down. Mm-hmm. It still does, but
yeah.
I've never been in there before.
My thing is like.
Are you 18?
Yes, and my thing is that like I kind of liked because it had like weird like up pieces, like some of the shelves were higher and stuff, and I kind of like that. I kind of wish they would have kept that, but just with like fucking windows. Like if they would have rebuilt that shit with windows, so it's like had light. That shit would have been so cool because you could have been closer if you want to have more light.
Yeah, I'm
higher.
a huge fan of the design.
It looks really boring and I feel like they did that with a lot of. I think the only exception is the Grove Hall Library. Yeah. They like did real interesting stuff with it. I think with all the other libraries, they did them very like I'm
boring.
Like it's just bland. A room. Like I wish they would have put like some, if they would have put some like levels on that shit, you could have found
some levels,
some nooks. It's a library. You're supposed to be able to go in the corner. Like it's supposed to be a little dark, not just like dark. It's supposed to be like you're supposed to be able to have a corner that you can like curl in your nerd hole, like Mr. Eisen used to say, your nerd hole. But I want to say because if a real Dudley Library OGs have that had a blood, sweat, and tears, real Dudley Library OGs got banned or had a family member banned and couldn't go to the library because their older brother was banned from the library, and then you were too young to watch the library alone, so then you can go for a long time. But what I want to say is out of respect for all of us and the rude ass librarians there, I think it should be called the Nubian Square Branch out of respect for us.
Out of respect.
So yeah, that's what I say. I implore our mayor to correct this misstep. I know it's for gentrification. Y'all better call that bitch the Nubian Square Library. If you
another suggestion, and it's just a suggestion. The Obvious Nonsense Library Branch is a very great
you
name.
can call it that. I mean, look at us. We here. We advocating, bro. Like
we here.
We the only ones advocating for everything. Like, bro,
everything advocates. Oh gosh,
it should be soon. One day when we get an Obvious Nonsense Library in Boston, y'all laughing now.
I'm petitioning for one of these random streets in Roxbury to be named Obvious Nonsense Road.
Hey, I'm saying get one of these slave masters' names, get them off.
Not streets.
A road, yes. Get one of their names off, bro. My thing is that we're Squirtle and we're Charmander now, but when we're Blastoise and fucking Charizard, y'all gonna be all up in our business talking about, oh, y'all got mega evolutions now, huh? Oh, fuck off. Nah, we got new types and shit, and we don't even want you.
Y'all got a motherfucking Machoke hanging out with your teeth.
No, you're a Machamp.
I'm not a Machamp yet. I gotta get there. Come on.
Wait.
Don't give me more props than I deserve.
Wait. But I was talking about when we're Mega Blastoise and Mega Charizard.
You're saying you're
I think I'll be Charizard Y.
Now.
I think I'll be Mega Charizard.
Anywho, an unqualified white woman got appointed to the Supreme Court.
Yes, Amy Coney Barrett, bitch ass, white supremacist, stupid,
doesn't deserve it. What it taught us is what we should always know. Is that white people don't have to work that hard to get.
They don't have to be qualified. I thought everybody Trump has ever appointed proved that.
Yes.
Like nobody has. Trump himself proves that.
Like white women, y'all can't speak anymore.
Trump himself proves that. I mean, they're still speaking.
Just want y'all to know that.
Are we in the 21st century?
Yeah.
21st century is definitely the indicator that you don't need any of the things that people say you need to do anything anymore.
Period. But those white women are still speaking. Let's be clear. They're talking even louder now. Yeah. And they're acting like they're the victims. Like, and blame. In fact, let's not even go there. I'm not even going to get into that. But I just want to say that there are a lot of things the Democrats could have done. And I really feel like this was their strategy. Like they
do nothing strategy.
They wanted her to get put in there so they could be like, hey, look it, now Joe Biden has to win.
They want to anger the base, rile the base,
get them out there, because they always choose the worst times to do it. Republicans do it all the time. They just choose the week before the election to rile people up. No, please don't rile me up. And most people already voted. Not most, but a lot of people have already voted. Millions of votes have already been cast. But and I heard Amy Klobuchar say they won this round, but we're gonna win the long game or something like that. And I'm just like, how, Sway, when she gonna be on the Supreme Court for like another 44 years and Joe Biden is gonna be president for at best 8 years, or maybe less than that, depending on circumstances. But
it just always makes me laugh. They're like logic.
I'm just like, we have not won the long game or I guess it's for Amy Klobuchar. I guess is the long game because she's fucking conservative as shit. So she doesn't want anything passed. Like she claims that she cares about Roe v. Wade, but clearly not, ma'am.
What is she? Is she like a
She's just a moderate.
No, is she one of those people that doesn't believe you should change anything in the Constitution?
A constitutionalist?
Yes.
I don't know, probably.
I couldn't remember if she was or not, because then you should be voting on doing nothing.
My thing is that there are a lot of options that the Democrats could have done. There's because the Senate has so many stupid ass, archaic rules and shit really hasn't changed in a long time. You can force votes. Like, you can force things to the top of the docket, like that would supersede a Supreme Court election. Like, they're like, if for instance, if you just said, we have to talk about this budget thing. Like, if you do that and there are no budget negotiations have begun for the next year, like, they have to talk about that first. So they could have done that. They could have done, there are so many other things they could have done. There are a bunch of things constitutionally they could have done to stop it, but they did not. They didn't want to.
And Republicans have stopped you guys all the time. And you tell me this one time, one of the most important times, you're like,
yo, that nigga has appointed
a lot of judges.
3 judges?
A lot.
3 Supreme Court justices, mad judges, hundreds and hundreds of appointments. Oh, the ballot questions for Massachusetts. We're yes on both 1 and 2. Because for ranked choice voting, I just think it's the best. Under this system we're in, it's the best way to have a fair election and have people actually able to win, for the people you want to win.
Yeah.
Because the way our primary system works now, with the first past the post, whatever, the winner takes all, people split the vote too much, so the worst person wins usually. And then it makes it a lot easier for incumbents. So yeah. I think ranked choice voting, being able to choose number of people or whatever is the best way.
Yeah.
And then for
number 1, it's about letting small mechanics get access to the technology, or like universalizing, not that that's not words, making it universal, the systems that small mechanics and like Honda and Jeep and all those major car companies use. Because right now, a lot of the times, there are like systems within your car that small mechanics can't fix.
Yeah.
And that's the reason, like, number one's been around for a while, because I remember it for at least like 3 or 4
years. Yeah, it keeps
back.
coming back. Right to repair.
So that's why number one kind of exists. And why I'm yes on it is because I feel like this is one of those instances of supporting small businesses and one of the like easiest ways, at least as a voter, because this also, like, once it goes from a ballot question, it goes to our state Congress, whatever, our state house, and our state house will deal with making the language and deal with fixing it up. It's not like the last time that it will exist.
Yeah, most of these are not like binding technically.
Yeah, they'll change
they
as
have
they go
to
up.
debate and stuff. But
yes on one, because let small mechanics be able to fix your car.
Also, just I don't think corporations should just have so much proprietary shit. Like they already have.
The argument that a lot of the corporations made were like, it's a sick one to me, because they're like using domestic violence victims and saying that it'll be easier for like people to hack and get your information from small
I kind of
mechanics.
saw that. Yeah.
And I'm like, do you know how often places like Honda are hacked?
Like, bruh, it's nobody. The like in theory it would be easier, but also who's hacking them? Like think like let's think about that really. But like
But yeah, that's where we are on the ballot questions. And it's kind of hard with the ballot questions. They word them in a way. Yes, they word them in a way that makes it usually want you to vote no. And like it kind of has like counter like pro arguments within it, but usually the way it's worded makes it seem horrific, as if something bad's going to happen, especially when you're thinking about like people having access to your car's technology,
right,
or changing your voting system, because like that seems scary when you don't know what it's about, but it's just ranked. Like it's the easiest way I think about it is just you're ranking your top faves.
It's just like like when they do the Lion King shits, the best Disney movies, and then they have brackets.
It's a bracket,
Yes.
Oh, he got 30, he got 40. Oh, moving on. Okay.
Yeah, just it's like basketball season, my guy.
It's March Madness, but for voting, I don't know. I've always liked it. Other countries do it, and they do it perfectly fine.
Yeah,
like nothing's wrong with their democracy.
It's proportional. Yeah,
proportional representation. Is that what it's called or something?
No, that's not the right. I was in the wrong thing. It's called proportional. No, it is. That's something, but that's not the right thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anywho, we know too many words about
like I said,
concepts.
The other thing is first person post. That one is. Oh, Mr. Isaac, I'm sorry. I got a 5 on my AP exam. I should know this.
And then, in good news, kind of about courts, our Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court, Governor Baker is appointing a Black woman, Kimberly Budd, to be the Chief Justice, and she'd be the first woman of color, but I'd like to specify that she's the first Black woman to do this, and that's really cool to see. And this is also funny because a few weeks ago, when the Chief Justice died, and I thought it was a Supreme Court Justice that died, even though I had no clue what either one's names are. Because why would I like politics, but I'm not gonna learn your name. When he died, I confused him and I scared Malaysia. And then immediately after
that bitch Ruth Bader Ginsburg died,
and I said, I really done cursed us both
I
times.
said no, but the craziest part, I think I said that to my mom after I told her you scared me about. I think I was like, see, now something's gonna happen, and then Ruth Bader Ginsburg died.
But anyways, talking kind of about elections and things, a man lit a fire in a ballot box in Copley. He's since been arrested, but they believe he was just like a homeless man that might have just had some mental health illnesses and like issues.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that sucks.
But other places have had ballot fires that seem more intentional,
more serious issues.
I mean,
so we're at the point where it's best to kind of. The ballot box is one of the best places to drop your thing off. But if you can deliver it to like a closer place, like we're going to go deliver ours at like City Hall, or if you can go in person to your like early voting center or polling place, that's probably best right now. Don't mail your ballot in at this point.
Yeah, it's too late.
It's too late. The USPS is fucked up.
It's gonna be mad slow. It probably will. Like it needs to be postmarked before the 3rd.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it might be, but I wouldn't suggest.
Yeah.
I would suggest just delivering it.
And if you're in a place like Pennsylvania where I've been texting for, if you've requested a ballot, you're supposed to bring it with you, which I think is stupid.
Yeah, they want you not to be able to vote. That's the thing.
If I requested it in it, I forgot it. Like
you're not what if it didn't come? Like they really want to stop people from voting in so many ways. Like this is what I'm talking about. These are we have to talk about. And like there are a lot of barriers to voting that people don't want to acknowledge when they talk about how you must vote and how you can't complain if
Georgia
you don't vote.
That have been standing in lines like since early voting started.
Facts.
I'm not talking about
that's not
on election day. I'm talking about 2 weeks before an election. You have people waiting in hour-long lines to vote.
And then they because they close all the polling places, they kick people off the rolls. And I'm like, these things are not feel-good stories. People standing in line for 3 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours is not feel-good story.
101-year-old Black grandma whose like parents were sharecroppers. This doesn't make me feel good that she's 101 and still has to stand in line this long to vote. It doesn't make me
like
feel
she
good.
Should have easy. Like we live in a time where people should be able to vote easily. First of all, we should have all been mail-in voting for forever. We should have been mail. Like there's states that have fully mail-in voting. Like
to the people that keep saying, my dead parent or somebody dead got a ballot.
You know what you can do with that? Just throw it away. You keep acting like that's going to change an election, like a bunch of dead people are suddenly going to get ballots, and it's going to
and no one's going to notice. Like, are you also filling out the freaking census for them? They're going to notice if all the dead people, like there's suddenly thousands upon thousands of more people voting from different, like fucking.
Just want you to know that they also check. Like, there's a reason ballots aren't accepted when you mail them in or when you put them in a ballot box. Your signature could look different. You didn't finish filling something out. Like, there's so many, like, those are also voter suppression tactics. But, scared me. There are so many, like, checks and balances with our elections, like, behind the scenes that we know about that just other people don't, that are, like, the worry of a dead person getting a ballot is not a concern to me.
That's like that story you told me that one time. I can't see me either. That's like that story you told me that one time about that girl who found her what do you call it, sugar daddy dead, and spent his entire credit card.
Oh, that story?
Yeah.
The Claremont twins?
The Claremont twins.
From Bad Girls Club?
Oh, yeah, that story that you told me about.
That story.
Yeah, that's like that.
In fact, somebody gonna notice.
But yeah, like there are a lot of barriers to voting, especially if you're like a felon or like just black, to be honest.
A lot of the people that were working on the getting the right to vote in Florida, with the felons, remember there was like that whole thing passed in Florida.
Basically a poll tax.
A poll tax.
There's some polls in this house. There's some polls in this house.
There's some bowls.
There are also bowls in this house.
And polls. Okay, go on.
Anyway, he got the right to vote for the first time in a long time. One of the main leaders, like the main organizers for getting felons to vote in Florida.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to see. Obviously, it sucks that like he had to fight so much to get the right to vote.
The right that every citizen should have, no matter.
Pero he finally got the right to vote, so that was dope. So if you haven't voted, go vote. Make a plan to vote. If you, it's very easy to Google. What is my voting site? Where can I go early voting?
Find my polling place.
So many places like.
Where's my poll?
Where is my poll?
Go to www.xxxwhere'smypoll.com.
There's actually like a website called Find My Polling Place or something like that. But
so figure that out. Go vote. And if you cannot vote because you're not a citizen, blah 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 blah. Remind the people in your life that
can vote
to go vote.
Yeah. And if you're too young to vote, remind the people. If you're too young to vote, don't watch this. But if you're too young to vote, remind the people that who actually Yeah, no, don't. Remind the people that are old enough in your life to vote. To remind them to vote. Yeah.
Oh, talking about voters. You know who's trying to kill his own voters?
Donald Trump. Yo, you know what's funny? Donald Trump got 85% of those motherfuckers to come out last time, and like that's his only people for real that he has.
Mhm.
And so now they like want more, but also he's trying to murder them by leaving them in Omaha with no buses and
Just
coronavirus.
The thought of getting people on, I was gonna say boats, on buses to an airfield in Omaha, and then it also, please, okay,
Link the article.
y'all old white people gotta talk to me real quick. What in your goddamn mind tells you on a day where it's like 20 or less degrees outside that the best thing for you to do is to get in a bus with no round trip,
Thank you.
bus travel, no transportation
Squaw.
back home to go see the president for maybe 5 minutes.
Wepa.
Peyton Manning told him anytime he asked for the ball to be snapped to him, Omaha.
Wepa.
Just
Yeah,
trying to
shit.
kill your own voters is quite funny. Yo, this is what I was gonna say about Trump a few days ago. There's the Melania Trump fake is back.
Yeah, people think Melania Trump has a body double.
She does. And you know what?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. She has a body double. Some woman be pulling up.
Yo,
to that
somebody
plane
said,
and
like
does
Donald
not
Trump
look
said.
like Melania.
Somebody said, no, I would, you know why I could in theory believe Melania Trump has a body double? Because she really hates that man.
Yeah,
She really does not like to be around him.
Did you see
And
the
being
picture of
president
them
makes him
voting?
even more upset. No, let me
Of
look
them
it up.
voting and Trump looking over like this.
He's like, who are you voting for? Are you voting for Donald J. Trump? Yo, she probably voted for Biden somehow. She was like, I spilled ink on my ballot. I have to redo
I
it.
have to do it again. Sorry.
She said Joseph R. Bubble that and like make sure it's fully scribbled.
She said, you gave me a Republican ballot.
Knowing Melania, she probably wrote in somebody's name.
She wrote in Obama. She wrote in Obama.
She said Michelle
I like
Obama.
Michelle-
I really
I
like
was just about
talking to
say
her.
that.
I really
love
like
Michelle
stealing
Obama.
from her.
Yes.
I really love Michelle Obama.
You sound like you're Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I really love Michelle Obama.
And with that, we're gonna move on to the Herald.
The
editorial
Herald.
The Harold.
They this nigga.
Last excise.
So in 2016, these motherfuckers, as someone would say, refused to endorse anybody.
I said someone. Refused to endorse someone.
Someone. Who? But someone.
Anyone.
Somebody. So this year they endorsed Trump because but who was really shocked that the Herald would endorse Trump? They're super racist. All the commenters will tell you. Herald, but nobody serious takes the Herald seriously.
No.
Everybody thinks the Herald's a fucking rag, bro.
Yeah.
It's a fucking trash rag, bro. Like people today were like, oh, it's like the Boston version of the New York Post, and it really is. It's a fucking rag, bro. It's been this way forever. I remember at my first job, I worked at a summer camp, and there was this dude who did security. He owned a security company, and one day, one of the people I worked with walked in with the Herald, and he was like, "Why you have that?" Well, like, he's an old white dude. He's like, "Why do you have that trash? Why you have that trash for?" Like, da, 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 da. He was like, "Oh, I just picked it up." Whatever. He's like, "Oh, the Herald's garbage." Da, da, da. I'm like, bruh, the Herald sucks, bro. If old white dudes even hate it, like, that's a lot. The only good thing in the Herald is when Mr. McGuire sends a column. Those are the good things in the Herald, to be honest.
Look, the only people I felt bad for with the Herald were the journalists, because it's mad hard to get a job in journalism.
In fact, especially if you
already work for the Herald.
Especially if you want to work at a newspaper that exists.
And so many of them are young millennials. that are like, yeah, I don't fuck with Trump, just making sure you know I don't fuck with Trump. I am just a reporter. Like, I don't write editorial pieces. I don't write pieces about my opinion. I write legit what happens. And then I pass it on to my editor, like, please don't hate me. And I was like, I feel very sorry for you, but you also work at the Herald. And I feel sorry for you doubly because that sucks.
That's just, who would want to tell people they work at the Herald?
Not me. Me like, the Globe? You work at the Globe? Why you fancy? You're cool. And this is why the second point I was going to make is that we need to support Black newspapers and Black press and media, because who the hell wants to read the Herald?
First of all, the Bay State Banner has the best stories. Like,
the best opinion pieces. Like, even if I don't agree, well written.
And also the final call.
Black people.
Shut up, Kayan.
Brother Mohammed back here.
Final call, sister.
Is as you guys have probably noticed, they're back outside with their mask on, though.
Yeah, mask on.
Brother Mohammeds are not messing with the COVID.
Yeah, I agree with them. Put your bow tie on, put your mask on, you out the door. And first of all, put your bow tie on, put your mask on, scoop up your stack of final call, and you out then go through the orbs. You good.
That's how you get there. You travel through the orb.
You out the door, through the orb,
and
in the train station.
You
right.
Travel through the orb and through the orbs, and through the last orb, you grab your bean pie. Your bean pie and your final call.
Yo, anyway.
Oh yes, but COVID. Speaking of COVID, our numbers are brazy. Not even crazy brazy.
Yo, so Boston, we about to probably have to close down again.
Whoa.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Y'all should have fucking did. Y'all should have fucking. We couldn't have done really more.
No, we couldn't.
But I meant like the rest of the country should have like fucking done other things.
It's really sick.
There's one thing we should have done: open schools.
Facts. Governor Baker wants to blame all these colleges, and I was like, what did you expect? You're gonna put a bunch of 20-year-olds together, 18, 19, 20-year-olds together.
You should not open the schools. You are the governor. You have final say, you son of a bitch. What the fuck? Like, why are you blaming somebody else? He's the damn governor. Like, what the fuck? Like,
also there's beef.
No, I'm sure it was his wife. I'm sure she's the one who really wanted the schools open, allegedly. Not like bro, now they're gonna come after us though, because they were shouting her name, so I'm sure that's a good reason for him not to do anything about the issues on Mass Ave. But let's talk about other things.
What was I gonna say? Dang. Oh yeah, but Baker also was talking about this, and people on Twitter were talking about it. So they shut down the hockey rinks because a bunch of the coaches and the parents did not want to give like information about like temperature checks and follow the regulations that they needed, so they had to shut them down because a lot of them did not want to comply.
I wonder what those people eat on Thanksgiving. Like, I wonder what what kind of music they sing at those people's church. I just wonder if they got names like Shermichael or Shaughnessy. I'm just wondering, like, all these hockey parents who don't want to fucking be transparent about whether they fucking got the pandemic disease that's happening in the pandemic. Like, I'm just wondering, like, I just want to know a little bit more. Like, please, I'm just wondering, were they white? Like, my nigga, what the fuck? Like,
with COVID and with schools and sports and things, the parents are usually at the center of the real issue. Like,
they're nuts, bro. Like, sports parents are crazy, man. I mean, they're weird.
Like, kids sure can't get it that much.
But they can pass it though. Like,
you can pass it. So if you're a parent wilding, if your kid wilding, if y'all fucking around on the hockey rink and then fucking around at Walmart and getting COVID, like, it matters. You need to give that information to stop being dicks just because you want to be a dick.
They're like, it's my right to kill everybody.
Here's the even more fucked up part. The darker part of that is then what about the coaches who are who might be abusing their fucking players, and what if they have it and they passed it through that in some secret fucking way?
What? Okay, that's specific.
But that shit happens, that's the shit. You know what I mean? Like, parents don't think about that kind of stuff. Like,
Think about it. Open
like
your
I would
third eye.
never like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
There's
But
some decent creeps out there.
but like, bro, like, yeah, we're just like, it's a pandemic. Like, just can you like be a little considerate? Like, I think like we all live in a society.
You're taking away from my life. I haven't been able to live the same way.
I
for
can't
7
even go to the
months.
Packy and get my Newports. The governor banned Newports, so.
I still don't understand that.
Anywho, talking about creeps. So there's this missing girl from New Bedford. Oh, dang, can you put her name?
Yeah,
And you have to say it because I don't know how to say it, I think.
I shall. And
Anywho, so she's been missing for a couple days, and she's probably with this man that has been Luis Barbosa. Is it Barbosa? Barbosa. Yes.
Yeah, Barbosa.
I believe she's Cape Verdean. And this man's Cape
Her,
Verdean.
her name.
Oh, she's actually American Indian Alaskan.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
she's Wampanoag.
Oh,
Mashpee Wampanoag. That's who you're supposed to contact, by the way, if you see her, the Mashpee Wampanoag folks. Her name, I'll say July Gia Finkley. I linked the tweet about her. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but she's missing. I wish I could.
With this creep who has been posting a lot of weird stuff on Twitter. What?
Georgia?
Maybe Gelagia.
Maybe.
If that's your name, that's a beautiful name. I like the way it's pronounced.
It's nice.
But I wish I could say it properly because it's important to say people's names.
Facts.
But especially
we
with
didn't talk about
intention.
that man. We didn't cover it because it didn't happen until Thursday.
What man?
The man that resigned. Did we talk about him?
Oh no!
That happened after, right?
No, we didn't talk. Yeah, we didn't talk about him.
But she's been missing since the 20th, which is like 8 days. She's allegedly with this 30-something-year-old man.
She's only 17, by the way. She's only
17, and she's allegedly like nobody can find her. This man, we don't know if it's fake or not, but has been posting like weird stuff, conversations between her and him from like January and other stuff that's really like weird.
Apparently they're traveling around.
There's just been a lot of rumors, and it's not like nothing is really confirmed. Nobody knows what's happening, but everybody knows that he's involved. So if you have any information, if you can, we put one of the links. The link should be across all the platforms.
Yeah.
If you can, like, spread the word.
Facts.
If you're around the New Bedford, or they're probably not even around there anymore. But if you're around, like, any areas, pretty much
just
in New England.
New England, just New England area, even like East Coast base,
just swinging that
because people can get far in a car, to be honest. So like, yeah, we really want to find her. Native girls especially go missing so much.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Native girls, because of the population size and things like that. They go missing at a high, like a crazy amount that other groups don't go missing. Ooh, talking about kind of like kidnapping and sex trafficking. There was a big rink that got shut down in Ohio where like 100 and something women and children were found that were in the process of being like trafficked. So that was really good. Unfortunate that was even happening, but it's good that we have these things kind of being dealt with.
Yeah. So keep spreading that around to anybody anybody, like I said, especially in the New England, Northeast, even just East area, because we really want to find her.
And there's can't find the tweet, but there was this whole family, pretty much. I can't remember exactly. I have to find it after. I'll try and put it. There's this whole family that's basically gone missing within like a week.
Yeah, I saw it
on Twitter, and I forgot to share it. But this whole family, like this, I think they're Black, just gone. Yeah. Like the whole family just disappeared. Nobody knows where they've gone. Nobody knows where they went. And it's really like scary.
I saw that too.
It's good to bring light to issues like this.
And like I'm sure most of the people watching this show know that Black or Indigenous women of color in general, like we definitely get less news coverage, less the mainstream is less worried, less interested in finding us, and so it's easy for us to fall through the cracks. So I think it's that I think the one of the best things you can say about Twitter is that it has helped find a lot of people, and
Facts.
social media in general really has helped. It has aided in finding a lot of people, and we hope it could be the same for all these people who are missing. But yeah, we gotta keep spreading the word, and hopefully something.
especially this girl is found
Yes.
unharmed by this creep. Anywho, talking about mispronouncing names. Last week during a BPS hearing, the committee head Michael. Now I don't remember his name. It's like Michael Lotto or something like that.
Michael.
And honestly, his name. Excuse me. Oh my god, his name really don't matter since he liked to disrespect other people's names. But
Michael Lottery.
He was caught being hella racist. There was an Asian, probably Asian American person about to speak during this committee hearing, and he said something about Shanae and something very like racist and very like unprovoked. And he justified it by saying that he was talking about a book, and people were like, "What book?
Like which book? Show me the picture. Receipts.
What book got this racist little phrase written in there real quick to show us
receipts, Michael."
So that happened.
Run the receipts, and he couldn't run the receipts, and so everybody pressured him to resign, and so he fucking resigned.
It was crazy because Anissa was one of the first people to like tweet about it and like catch it. And she was like, "What the hell? Like, what the hell is happening?" Right. So it was one of those instances where I was very happy that city councilors kind of like reacted.
They all came together.
This is the one time where they show what you can actually do when you're a city councilor. You see, they show their power for stuff that don't really matter in like
they just pressured the fuck out of that dude, bro.
They pressured the hell out of this man to resign. It tells me that you have the influence to pressure about other things.
You can pressure so many people.
You could pressure about, I don't know, let's say Mass Ave. Let's say you could do more on the budget. Just,
Under pressure. Nah.
But they got that man under pressure. Man.
Bro, he resigned so freaking quick. I was just like, but the first thing I thought, which somebody eventually said, and I was like, hey, Alejandro, somebody said what I thought. But I was like, so Marty Walsh appointed that dude, yeah? Because Marty Walsh appoints people to the school committee. So what's up with that? Like, why did you appoint this racist ass man? Did no one have any questions about him beforehand? Did y'all not do any deep investigation? Because there's no way that he don't have that. If he had a professional career, nobody said something if he's out here talking about what he was talking about, my guy. And then people were like, well, we don't need to ruin his life. And I feel like I understand what people are saying, like, we don't want to destroy this man's livelihood. Sure, but like if he's working at a school, he's racist. Like, do we understand that racism, even if it's just words, it's violent, it's harmful to people? Like, we have to stop pretending that, like, this is the problem. This is why we can't defeat it, because we pretend that it's not harmful unless it's them hanging you from a tree, unless it's them stomping you in the streets.
It was a mistake.
But how was it a mistake, right? When he said something directly, like, who just say something like that as a mistake? Me, if I said insert name clear, that's a mistake, my name.
Facts. Shanae, Shaniqua, whatever he said,
like,
not a mistake. So I'm glad he resigned. Hopefully they put in a better person, but it also called forth people kind of talking more about the fact it should be an elected school committee. That that him being appointed shouldn't even exist.
It shouldn't.
The fact that, like, an example, if you have a racist mayor, he just might put a racist person in one of the most important seats that he can appoint. These things matter.
Oh, and we forgot one thing in Violence in Boston. So like a dude who was arrested on gun charges ended up getting bail, and ended up shooting somebody,
murdering his girlfriend, I believe.
And now Rachel Rollins has said like no more bail for folks who have gun charges, and I'm like, I understand, but I'm also like, the problem is that like some people are like innocent, or like some people are not gonna kill people.
I think one thing Rachel has done in a bad way is that sometimes she's very reactionary.
Yeah.
and she'll just react right away and be like, my office won't do this anymore. And some things are not about not doing it anymore per se, but about
I think
The
it's
case.
about the diligence. Like, you got to do the
Yes.
due diligence. Like, you have to really know who this person is. Like, my thing is that, like, he killed his girlfriend. So, like, this is kind of something that you could have figured out. Like, if somebody's at the point where they're gonna shoot their girlfriend, like, there's probably signs. Like, somebody probably could have told you that this nigga's about to shoot his
this
girlfriend.
is why our justice system being overloaded, our criminal justice system being overloaded, is like not beneficial to us to like, because things like this can happen so easily, while people that deserve bail, that might have just been caught in a shitty situation, that might have just been in a car with a gun, that might have just been in something stupid, won't get bail, while somebody that, like, I don't want to say deserved jail, because that's the prison.
Somebody who was a
industrial complex is
danger
fine.
to people.
Yeah, somebody that was a danger to people that should have been like
They're friendly to
getting helped or
themselves, dude.
something. Yeah, like there's just people need to be more, I don't know, like nuisance about these conversations instead
Nuance,
of
yeah.
nuance. Yes, about these conversations. Same thing. Nuisance, nuance,
New flan.
Flams?
flams.
But yeah, so that's
But we need those things. because
situation.
Situations just vary so much that it's hard for
Yeah, it's hard to make a blanket like
yes,
you
a
know.
blanket. We won't do this or we will do this. for
I mean,
things.
like people, because people have died just not having not all, like, bro, on bail shit,
Facts.
in
Just
jail
in-
for
just
bail
in- yes.
shit. But anyway, I think the last thing we got on our list is the 2020 virtual Black Expo.
It's headed by freaking what's your guns organization called?
BECMA,
BECMA.
Black
I like to call it BMAC for some reason.
Black.
You also call
The
it
black-
nuisance.
Shut up. Y fuera! You don't know the reference, and that's why it's funny. I'll have to play it after. It's Samuel Gigante reference.
Reimagining Black Wall Street.
Yo, one thing I just
Black
remembered about
Economic
that.
Council of Massachusetts, BECMA.
Yes, it's organized by them, and there are free tickets. There are also tickets you can get for a small business. Eastern Bank is also sponsoring a bunch of tickets. So, however you want to get involved. Watch it. I already applied for a ticket for it's November 4th, which is such a bad day because it's post-election. But it's okay.
November.
I think that's when they had it last year. But okay, it's a virtual event. Check it out. The link is there. What else was I gonna say? Oh yes, Berkshire Bank. We talked about it, I think, a few weeks ago. One of their black heads left the company. Now they've hired, I think, a white person to replace her. And this is after they were kind of doing that whole spiel of they did the reimagine whatever thing they have in Dudley that nobody can go to really because of COVID. To help entrepreneurs and small businesses. Those were like incentives that she made that like she's gone. Some big dispute I think happened between her and the bank
Probably
that
racism.
ended their relationship. And now they replaced her with a white person, and everybody's kind of like, this isn't a commitment to the community if you go from having a black woman to just going to a white person. This isn't
They're corny.
how it works.
They're very corny for that.
Just to let y'all know about the banks that exist in our ecosystem, Eastern Bank, TBH, of all kind of banks, is not that horrible to our community. Kind of does a lot in terms of like sponsoring different like different programs and things, which is cool. Obviously, there are always major issues with banks because it's a bank, and banks make money off of us losing money, basically. But Eastern Bank be cool sometimes.
Banks cause the crisis.
And also philanthropy is, a way to get around dealing with the actual issue.
Yeah, or paying your taxes.
Anywho, that's it. That's all we got.
That's it. It was fun, y'all.
Shouts out to philanthropy.
Shout out to Hugs with the Z by Kuma the Grizzly.
What? Thank you.
Boo. No, I'm kidding.
Boo! Somebody booed at Melania. No, Ivanka. It was really funny. It was like a very strong boo. I have to watch it again. But I'll replay
Boo.
it. Boo!
I
Go vote!
yeah, vote or whatever.
We'll have a special, maybe election night.
Yeah, maybe
event.
we do a little drinky.
Wait,
we might need to.